I'm Ed Turkel. I think more than a few people in the room know me. I originally had thought this was going to be a longer than 5-minute presentation, so I put more slides together. So I think this may be the only one I show you. More than a couple of people have commented on how I got to where I am. So a year ago at this meeting was my swan song when I announced to the group that I was retiring, and I really did retire for about 6 months, and subsequently ended up joining Dell just before the supercomputing meeting in November. And so everybody keeps asking me, why did I do that? And it wasn't because my wife kicked me out of the house, but that was a small piece of it. But really a lot of it was because my former colleague from HP, Jim Ganthier, who spoke at the forum meeting back in September, offered me the opportunity to join his team, and really described it as being a bunch of pirates going after the HPC business. And that's, by the way, is really not a joke. If you ever get a chance to go visit him, and Ben, my colleague, knows that there is a pirate flag hanging from the ceiling outside of his office. And it really is the story of Dell and HPC. Because Dell's been around in HPC for a very long time. We have a very nice business. But there was a long period of time where Dell sort of fell off the edge of the earth in terms of marketing and visibility and so on. Earl pointed out that for 3 years, nobody was ever talking to you from Dell about the numbers. And we have to have that conversation, by the way. And that's all true. And Jim came into the organization, came into Dell about 2.5 years ago. And at the beginning of last year, basically put together a business plan and went to Michael Dell to get funding to reinvigorate Dell in the HPC market, rebuild the team that had been before. A lot of people in the room know Tim Carroll, for example, by the way, who had run that business for a number of years before and left around that time when there was a lot of churn going inside of Dell. And subsequently, we've added something on the order of 25 heads into the organization. My head is one of them. Jay Bourson, who a lot of people in the room know, who was the director of TAC, is my counterpart in crime. He and I share the title of HPC strategist, him focusing on technology, me focusing on the business. And really driving a startup operation inside of Dell to reinvigorate an HPC business, to get much more aggressive in it, and do it with a solutions model. Jim's organization is referred to as the Cloud HPC and Engineered Solutions business. It's really an organization that is focused entirely on delivering solutions for cloud, big data, HPC, and so on, really to make the technology much more easily consumed. And so we have a whole infrastructure around developing solutions. Part of that infrastructure is what we refer to as the HPC Innovation Lab. This is our, the bread and butter of the organization where the hard work occurs, where we've got a surprisingly large amount of gear, where we are testing out solutions. We're in the process of building what we think will be a top 500 class system, 512 nodes, all connected with OmniPath, that we hope will be there in time to make the June list, dedicated to being able to do benchmarking testing and so on, and you don't do that if you're not committed. And so it's been an interesting ride for me to see a sort of a different viewpoint. My very first day visiting the Dell campus, I walked in the door of the Dell facility, and there's a big sign just inside the door that says, "Welcome to the world's largest startup." And so let me say that we may be the world's largest HPC startup. Not a bad thing. But that talks about the level of energy and so on. So likewise, come talk to us. My colleague Ben Shu is sitting over here. We'll have a couple of other members of my team. I haven't seen them yet. Will show up probably in the morning. But come talk. We'd love to talk to you about what Dell is doing. So thank you, and it's great to be back.